2.
So dramatic. Yeah, right. I'll turn Baywatch down here.
Thank you. Yes.
So
you're gonna watch in slow motion run while we're filming this. So when you go,
this is riveting.
I
don't know if Yasmin Bleeth and Hasselhoff are going to be able to save these people from this oil tanker. It's riveting. Okay, it's one of the best shows on television. So, welcome to episode 10 of Close Encounters of the Funny Kind. We've been on a Baywatch kick. It's on Prime. It's remastered. And it's glorious. So
Matt Cody is hot.
Matt Cody.
I'm sorry, Matt Brody.
Brody.
And now the new guy is named Cody.
Yeah, we're in season 6.
Hot.
Well, let's settle down with all that. But anyway, we're new location. We are on vacation.
So we were on vacation before and filmed one before we left the house in preparation of being on vacation. Yeah. And this was a last-minute long weekend trip that we took. So we were over here for 4th of July, and I got us some shirts.
Dibs.
4th of July was yesterday, but I got shirts from Tipsy Elves. Thank you. This is like my 4th thing I've ordered from you guys. Mine says, Houston, we have a party. And because we don't believe that the moon landing was actually real, it says dibs.
Well... But he's calling dibs for
so
America.
Tipsy Elves, if you're listening, I wanted the one that said "Get in, loser, we're going to the moon," but it sold out before I could order it.
If it makes you feel better, I don't think anyone from a t-shirt company is listening. But crazy people that like to hear you burp are listening.
Well, I don't know if I can burp because I don't have a glass. I only have like a Dixie cup.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. All right, so we got this puppy up at the gas station.
Because there's no other place to get craft beers.
Boom.
So.
Four Loko. It just says Loco USA.
Isn't Four Loko a Mexican beer? No? I thought it was
I don't think
Mexico.
so. I don't think that's...
I have no idea.
I think you're profiling or something there. That's not...
I'm not profiling.
I don't know what's going on. You're going to get canceled. I'll be on the pod by myself. Oh, it's clear. I thought it was going to be like blue or something. That's disappointing.
A clear beer? How many calories is in this?
Probably 1,000. Let's see. It doesn't say.
It just says if women.
It just says 13.
It says if women are pregnant, do not consume.
It's probably a good idea, just in general. Also says not to operate heavy machinery. So that's cool.
Solid advertisement.
I don't know. This technically is beer, but
I won't be drinking all of this like I normally do the craft beers because 13.9 alcohol. I'm terrified.
It's not bad. Tastes kind of sweet.
It smells like fingernail polish remover.
Yeah, it doesn't. Tastes like kind of like a Smirnoff Ice. It's kind of what I'm getting, like a.
Nope, I ain't touching that one with a.
What? It's not that bad.
Oh, that is awful.
It's awful.
It's awful. It's wicked awful. Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. I'm gonna finish the podcast by myself if you drink all that.
It's got a little
twang
to it.
It tastes like rubbing alcohol.
I don't think these have the. We were talking about this before.
Caffeine.
I don't think it has. The difference is, they used to be chock full of like 200 milligrams caffeine, and now it's just
alcohol. So people were acting.
Now it's just the alcohol. It's like those monster drinks we tried a few.
Shout out because we're over here at Mexico Beach. Shout out to Forgotten Coast Brewery Company. They're right up the road from us. We took these last time we were there. Some coasters.
I had some decent beers. Yeah, we ate some nachos and had a couple beers, but
the nachos were delicious.
So I have my question. This is.
Oh, you got a question tonight.
Yeah, I saw this on a page on Instagram. So this is kind of in depth. Like this is.
It's supposed to be a funny podcast.
You're gonna have to think about this one. All right.
Oh, it happened.
Yeah, exactly. It says, all right, you're in an arena, all right, with...
A football arena or like the Jacksonville Coliseum, like the Veterans Memorial? Or...
Let's say you're in... Let me slide back.
You gotta specify here.
I'm not comfortable. All right, so you're in a... football stadium.
Okay.
All right. With.
Then it's open, it's not closed.
Yeah. Please stop asking questions. Hold all questions till the end. Jesus Christ. I'll slap you. Yeah. I'll be the first woman to get slapped in the middle of a podcast. All right. So.
Guys, he would never.
He would never hurt me.
Tom Segura, I got a huge shout out to you.
All right.
Another subject, another time when the oldest isn't in the room. I got a shout out for you though.
Just stop talking.
Okay.
All right. So you're in an arena. All right. You can pick 2 of these to defend you.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, is this like Gladiator?
Stop talking. The others are going to attack you. The goal is to survive 1 hour. All right, I'm going to read off the list. This is on Men's Humor. It's just an Instagram page. It says, all right, 50 hawks. Hold your comments till the end. 10 crocodiles. 3 brown bears. 15 wolves. 1 hunter with a rifle. 7 buffalo. 10,000 rats. 5 gorillas. 4 lions. So you have to pick 2 groups to help defend you. And the rest of them are going to attack you.
Okay, I got this. I got this. You ready?
I was like, I sat there, I was like, I don't know. I got nothing. Like, I'm going to try to finish this Four Loko. I don't. What are you thinking? I mean.
I want the 50 hawks to attack me.
So here's the deal. I want to say this. The things that are the least intimidating. 50 hawks aren't intimidating.
I just hit them.
7 buffalo aren't intimidating because buffalo typically aren't charging you unless you're.
Oh, a hunter with a rifle.
10,000 rats, I'm not scared of either. Like
they bite.
Do I have shoes on? Because I'm squishing all them. I mean, we're talking about 10,000 rats or 4 lions, which like.
I would want 4 lions and a hunter maybe to protect me, and I would go against 50 hawks and 7 buffalo.
No, you have to go against all of it. You don't get to pick what you're going against. You got to go against, like, you get to pick 2 to go with you, but the rest of them are.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, the lions. I don't know, this is a dumb question.
Wow. That's hurtful. So you went with lions, and this is a dumb question.
She's got a Ferrari.
Please stop watching Baywatch.
You shouldn't have left this on. It's convertible.
Baywatch is very distracting. All right. So I'm going with, here's my thought. Like I said, the hawks are not terrifying at all because they're little birds and you just punch them.
Little birds?
Yeah.
They'd be eating the squirrels at the house.
Crocodiles are terrifying. Brown bears, I don't know. I feel like if it was grizzly bears, that's a little bit scarier. Wolves are terrifying. I mean, I don't want to go against a guy with a gun because he's just going to shoot me. So I would say the guy with the gun.
If he's a southern hunter, he's probably drunk.
The guy with the gun's automatically on my team because I don't want to get sniped in the face 6 minutes into this. The buffaloes aren't terrifying at all. The rats aren't terrifying at all.
The buffalo.
It's between the gorillas or the lions for me. I don't know. I think I'd probably go hunter and lions. I think would be on my side.
Hunter and lions. Okay.
I think so. It's tough. There's too many options because the wolves are doing good, but I feel like 5 gorillas is absolutely terrifying too. Especially if they're trying to hurt you. Like, you know, I'm like.
I actually did put something in the notes on my phone, but I forgot what it is. Now my phone's recording.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's very good.
We'll save it for the next one.
Okay. So we watched some fireworks last night.
Epic.
Down at the beach. We hadn't done that in a while, but down at the beach with the
kids.
Yeah, they shoot them off here at the kind of down at the end of the. There was a lot of people actually.
There really was a lot of people.
I was surprised there was going to be that many, but we wanted to talk about this. The last time we were over here was about a month ago. Yeah,
exactly a month ago.
It was like early June. We came over and Jesus, Four Loko.
Do it.
But no, I'm not going to start burping on the podcast. It's not going to happen. I'm going to hold them in. This thing isn't bad. You sure
That's
don't like this?
disgusting. No, all I smell is like turpentine. I don't.
It tastes like a Smirnoff Ice.
It does not taste like a Smirnoff Ice or rubbing alcohol.
All right, so I'm the youngest or the oldest. Walked down to the beach at like 10 o'clock at night.
I was asleep. Shocker.
So we're just down there talking, looking at the stars, whatever, hanging out. He says, as we're talking, my back's to the ocean. He's facing me. We're just kind of standing there talking. He says, I just saw something fly behind you. And I said, well, what was it? And he said, it looked like a light.
Phenomenal.
So we kind of talked about it a little bit more. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, it looked like it flew out of the water and flew into the sand. Or in the sand. So I'm standing...
And flying fish don't fly at night. Like, you don't see them.
Well, they don't glow either. So I was like, I instantly he said, I just saw something fly behind you. I instantly turned around. I'm like, where? And he's like, it was like something, like a light flew out of the water just into the sand dune over there. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. So I kind of stood there for a few minutes, talked, and then started walking back up, and we're kind of walking, and he was looking back, and he said, just did it again. So there's another one. So it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, I didn't see it, just obviously, but, he's 12, so he really doesn't, not one to make stuff up or anything. So it's kind of...
He wouldn't know to make something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a random thing. I was like, I don't know.
Now,
there is a... Now...
Our 12-year-old has been watching Skinwalker Ranch on Netflix.
But that's not necessarily like
it wouldn't be a cause for him to say something, but he knows what he's looking for now.
Yeah, I mean, just like weird lights and stuff like that, it kind of draws more attention to it. So we're in Mexico Beach, Florida. So if you look this up, there is an Air Force base kind of on the way. It's maybe 10 minutes from here. It's called Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida.
Their property line is less than 10 minutes
and they literally fly jets over the beach constantly.
It's so awesome.
It's a massive base as far as their, fighter jets and stuff that are kind of defending the Gulf.
And they even have signs as you're driving down the main highway that says, what is it, something about explosives?
So it says like explosive disposal range, do not enter. There's all these buildings, a bunch of pine trees. I mean, it's kind of a weird area because it's...
Well, there's no pine trees.
It's like you're cutting through Area 51 or something, but... It's just something to note that there are a lot of fighter jets and stuff over here. So we come back up. Sam had already been asleep.
Oh, it was the same night that I had the dream.
That's where I'm going.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going. So we come back up. Didn't really say much. Just came back up and watched TV for a few minutes. And I was
asleep, yeah.
She was asleep with the youngest, and then we, went to bed. So then the next morning, I tell her, I say, hey... so we were down at the beach and tell the story, and she's like, you won't believe what happened to me last night. And we kind of were, she was hesitant to say in front of the kids.
Because the youngest was in the room, and I don't ever want to scare him, but I know that the oldest has been watching some of those haunted, hospital things on, YouTube, so I knew I wasn't going to scare him. I just didn't want to scare the youngest. Plus, your parents were in the room, too.
Yeah.
And they're kind of iffy around, supernatural, but I totally believe in ghosts, so I didn't.
So Sam tells me that we were asleep, me and her are asleep, and she's facing the door. And she said she saw basically like a white.
It looked like a sheet. It was like a kind of Sorry.
No, go ahead. I mean, you're the one that saw it.
It wasn't like a white light. It wasn't like an orb. It was like. Something went past me quickly, but it had I don't know how to describe it. The only way to describe it is like a sheet or something, where it kind of but it was really fast. And when it did it, it was super cold. I felt it. It was because I was laying like this on the outside of the bed, and my whole arm was cold, and the hair on my arm stood up. It was creepy.
Yeah. So it was just But it was kind of like we were talking about it. I said, you won't believe what Jackson said he saw last night. And then she brought that up. She's like, are you joking? And then she told me that. So I don't know. It was kind of a funny coincidence, but that there was something. And it's like we had talked about a few episodes back where like me and you had
same dreams.
the same dreams, which is very odd to have happen. Like where it's literally the exact same thing
the
happening
details,
on the same night. So I mean,
or we have nights where we both can't sleep. But like we fall asleep, but we both wake up at the same time and literally cannot go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And we didn't have dreams or anything, but like the two of us just cannot go back to sleep. It's so weird. Yeah. But like,
I think you can get in a rhythm with like if you're really close with somebody, like a family member or whatever. You can get in kind of locked into
both the boys are locked in with me.
Well, yeah, like if you have like a bad day or you're upset, like they seem to be stressed or upset.
My mother-in-law will text me previous jobs when I had other jobs that I just absolutely was so stressed out and hated. She would text me and be like, "Are you having a bad day? What happened?" Or she'll literally just text me and say, "What happened?" And I'll tell her I was having. She's like, "He's having a meltdown. He's crying over everything." And I mean, and we're miles apart. Like it's nuts. But I have I've told you this before. It was at our old house. I haven't had this experience at this house that we're like our house we currently have with the pool and all, but our house before, I would smell pipe, like a smoking tobacco pipe, or like cigars, and we don't smoke, and very very few in between that he smokes a cigar. It wouldn't be enough to have an aroma in the house or a shirt or anything like that. And I was like sitting, I came home for lunch, I remember this one day, I came home for lunch and was sitting in our living room watching TV, and all of a sudden I could feel it. It was like a gust of wind went past me, and I could smell my grandfather's pipe.
Yeah.
And
You've said that before, yeah.
I smell him all the time. It's nuts how, and every once in a while, I haven't told you this, but every once in a while I get a whiff of Granny, because Granny used to wear a certain perfume, and every once in a while I'd smell it, and I don't wear that perfume. Like it's not something that's in, our house.
Well, this is something like I just thought about, like when you were telling me that. When we were over here at the beach house last time, my dad told me a couple things. And he said when he was, because we were talking about like afterlife and what you think happens and all this stuff. He said he can remember when he was younger, he said like his grandfather wore a certain type of cologne. Mm-hmm. And he says he can remember being in a store and like smelling it so strong that he looked around thinking he was going to be there, like his aftershave or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said he literally stopped what he was doing because it was so strong. Because like you grow up around a certain scent, and he literally ran to the next aisle and the aisle beside to like there was nobody there. But he said it was like it had just like walked by him. Like
you can feel it.
Like and I said, really? And he's like, yeah. He said, and when I smelt it, I instantly stopped, went to this aisle, went to this. There's nobody there. He said there was nobody else where he was, like Walmart or whatever it was. But he said it was such a strong, like it had just passed by him, and he had got a whiff of it. And he said one other thing. He said one time he was driving back somewhere late at night or whatever, and he said I guess it was on the way back. It was late at night, and he said everything was clear, and he passed through like some fog, and he said like the air conditioner started blowing fog like into the car. And he said he pulled over because it was like, like just because you pass through fog, it doesn't normally get sucked into the air. Mm-mm. So he said he pulled over, and he said he just felt like strange or weird. Like he said I just kind of sat there for a minute. I rolled down the windows and was like, maybe I'm just tired. Did I think that, or like what, So he said he just kind of sat there for a second and all right, rolled the windows up, took off back, onto the highway. and he said he got like, this maybe sat there for 5 minutes, but he said he sat there, and then he said he got up to the highway maybe, 2 miles down the road, and there had been a massive accident. And he said, like, a car was flipped over and all this stuff. Like,
so I saw something the other day that said, like, coincidences happen for a reason.
Well, and that's what he said. He said it was right after my grandfather, I think, had died, and he was traveling a lot for work, and he didn't know. He said, I didn't know if it was him trying to tell me, hey, pull over, or what the deal was. But he said he got up there, and it had just, like, the cops weren't there, anything. He said he pulled up and slowed down, and it had all just happened. Like, literally, he said, if I had been there 3 minutes before, I would have been in whatever it was.
There's this thing I've seen before that said, if you're running late for work, be late for work. There's a reason why you're running late. It's the world's natural way of telling you need to be late. You don't need to be where you're supposed to be at that particular moment. And I totally believe in it, because I've gotten slower about getting out of the house in the mornings. I'm not rushing everybody. I'm like, come on, let's go. Especially more at my new position, but it's just...
There's been a ton of stuff.
When you think about stuff like that, like, you miss getting hit by that car. You miss that tree limb falling. Or remember the tree limb that fell on the Forerunner?
Yeah.
Had we not turned down that road and gone into Publix where we normally go into, we never turned down that road. The one day we did, a tree limb fell off an oak tree. We were like a few $100s away from them almost totaling my brand new Forerunner that I've only had for 2 months at that point. And it shattered the windshield. Like, it was nuts. And we called the cops, and the cop was like, why'd you call me? And we're like, well, because we need to file a report. He's like, there's no accident. You literally just go call your car insurance and tell them a tree fell on it while you're driving on the road.
Why don't we do this? If anyone has any interesting, like,
stories,
ghost stories, or just weird occurrences and stuff like that, either send me a DM on TikTok, YouTube,
or our email. Put the email in.
You can email us. It's cepodcast@yahoo.com, or on Instagram. I think it's just we've had, all the names are different, but just send us a message, and maybe we can have you on. We can maybe do like a video call or something. We can figure out a way to set it up. And you can tell the story on here, but just give me a little bit of information. And...
Sorry.
Okay.
My great grandfather's house was haunted.
But before we go into that, reach out to us if you've got an interesting ghost story or something. Maybe we can have you on, and we'll do it live or something, and record it, and then put it on the podcast. So let us know. But
I've definitely experienced someone haunting someone before.
Yeah.
We can put my mom on here. My mom will talk about it.
Will she?
Because she used to go over and take care of him. And we would hear, because I would go with her.
Yeah.
And you would be downstairs, because it was a 2-story house, old wooden floors, like original everything. And you would hear creaking upstairs like someone's walking, and no one else was in the house. It was just like the three of us. It was him, me, and my mom. Or a book would fall off the shelf. Like, it was nuts. Or a light would turn on.
Yeah.
And I think it was his sister, is what my mom used to tell me, because she always said she was going to haunt his ass. Or it may have, I honestly can't remember who she said it was, but someone said they were going to haunt him if they ever went first, and they went first, so they haunted him. But it was friendly. Like, it wasn't anything like demonic or,
That's what, like, a lot of the podcasts, like, I've listened to and talked to, like, they say that, like, if you're having, like, a negative spirit or something, you're supposed to say, like,
leave me alone.
I do not welcome this negative energy or negative spirits. I want you to leave. You're supposed to speak that out. Like,
they're supposed to leave your realm if you tell them they're not welcome.
Well, what was the haunted house? Rogan went to it. I think it's somewhere in Nevada. But all these, remember I told you about this?
That's where all those, like, creepy cults are.
Well, they've had all they collect all this, like, like crazy stuff, like where there are certain things from like real life events and stuff, and they have it all in this like creepy like haunted house, and people have all these like reactions and stuff to it, and they make you sign like a disclaimer and all this stuff before you go into it, but like there's been a lot of like videos and stuff where people like they'll faint or get lightheaded. They'll have to carry them out and stuff. And like some of the stuff I read said, well, or maybe they're just pulling like oxygen out of the room or something. But there's like 10 people in the room and only hits one of them. So it's kind of like
yeah, but like it may not affect you, but it may affect me because I have asthma. So pulling oxygen out may hurt me.
I don't know.
Like,
I thought it was fun. I was like, but Rogan went to it and he said it was like this was 6 months ago or whenever I saw his post, but. He said it was pretty creepy, and I looked it up and saw some videos on YouTube, and I was like, definitely wouldn't go in there.
All right, so...
But that was the thing that they said. They said there's like a creepy room with some, like, a bunch of, like, dolls and stuff. But it said that...
I would pick up
It said that you're supposed to be, like, respectful to the dolls, and then when you leave, you're supposed to say,
You're supposed to leave them 100.
Yeah, just tip 100. Also, if you could order some shrimp from the buffet we have outside. No, but it said to speak out and say that you don't want to wish that negative energy to come with you.
Follow me.
Yeah. Or do you remember when
the ninjas or butterflies you were telling me about? He went to some creepy old building that was haunted.
Yeah. And I've heard that
he said the guy told him when you go in and you feel something you're supposed to say this.
Well, they did it before it was Andy. And this Ninjas with Butterflies is another
They're
podcast.
They're kind of cool.
Absolutely hilarious. I love those guys. But he told a ghost story where he was in a place they were doing like a ghost hunter thing. But he said the guy told them like when they left he was like and they're very like religious. But
yeah.
he said that they basically stopped and said, we do not welcome these spirits. We do not want you to follow us. We do not, you are to stay here. Like kind of, it was like a thing. And he said the guy always did that everywhere he went.
I know a couple of jobs.
It was kind of a thing that like locking it into that place. But I was thinking about this. This just came. Me and Sam went on a ghost tour. I was
just going to bring that up, but you were still talking.
We went on a ghost tour.
This is way before kids.
This is in St. Augustine back...
Probably
2007 or 6
7 or 8,
something.
yeah, like somewhere around there. It was before we got married.
But we went on they have like a ghost tour, and you go around in St. Augustine, Florida. It's like one of the oldest cities, or the oldest city in the country.
Yeah.
And you go around all these different like graveyards. There's like an old school, the first schoolhouse in the United States, I think, is there.
Do you remember when we went to the hospital on your field trip?
Yeah.
That was...
It stinks.
Hospital. There's a whole bunch of old, like, 500 years old or 400 years old.
The cemetery is definitely the coolest.
Whatever it is.
It's different.
But they said to take pictures and see if you can see any... like orbs. And this is back before like cell phone. Like this is 2006 or 7.
I had a digital
so
camera.
we were like rocking like a like a digital
camera. And it was a brand new camera. Like it hadn't like
well, we had used it. I mean to take
but
pictures
there was nothing
of us
on like
and
the
stuff.
lenses. There was nothing like it hadn't been that old.
But we took a bunch of pictures of the graveyards and different stuff. And we really didn't see
anything
much. But then when we got home, there was orbs everywhere.
So his parents went with us.
Yeah.
They dropped us off at our townhouse, and they went home, and we started going through the pictures.
Well, we took some pictures, like just us messing around at home, which I don't even remember
before and after.
I don't even remember why, but we were just because I guess we had the camera out, and we were taking pictures together, whatever. There was orbs literally everywhere. Like,
and there was
like
one that was like this big, and it was like
the whole like all the pictures were just and because you're like, well, it's dust. Well, we lived in like
a brand new
house. There wasn't a bunch of dust. Like it was new construction. And,
but like we went back and saw pictures the same spot, like from before.
Yeah.
And then we took a picture of it after, and there was an orb there. So it's not like it was something that was there before.
Like we tried to recreate it. Like we would take, like Sam standing by the door, take the picture. And okay, well there's 3 orbs there. And then I would wait a second and take it again. There's nothing there. Nothing changed light-wise. So we kind of messed with it, and it freaked both. And we're both like 22, 23 or whatever it was at this point. We called my parents and was like, hey,
can we come sleep at your
house? We come sleep at your house? Because they're like 5 minutes down the road. And they were like, yeah, we don't care. You know, so
and we got there and told them, they laughed at us.
Yeah. We showed them the pictures, though, and they were like, I don't know. Because I think that, did they go on the ghost tour with us?
They went with us.
Yeah, it was them. So we were kind of joking around about it.
And we were looking at their pictures, and they didn't have it.
Yeah. But I think we took some pictures at their house, and they didn't have them.
They didn't have it.
And then when we went back to our house the next day, they weren't.
They weren't there the next day.
There weren't any.
No.
So it was just a weird,
everything.
like, you know, we just kind of thought it was weird, but we kind of laughed it off, like, well, you know.
So now when we take pictures, because I have a really cool picture of me in my prom dress, and there's a like a rainbow swirl, but it literally goes around me. I'll have to see if I can find it. I've shown you.
You want to post it in the video?
If I can find it when I get home.
Your prom dress?
My prom dress. Oh my god, it's horrific.
It's so bad. It's pink. It was not a good dress.
Fuck you.
Huh. Hey, you don't say that.
This is a podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Wow.
Was not a bad dress.
Okay.
It was strapless and it had rhinestones, and then it was hot pink. Okay, it was the thing back then in 2000. When did I graduate?
1994. I don't know. Mila Kunis is in this episode of Baywatch, by the way. She's like 9, but just an FYI, season 6, Mila's in there.
I got a funny question.
Okay.
So, some people, I did up until about 10 years ago after I've had children, I just don't care anymore. Do you pee in the ocean or do you hold it until you...
Oh my god, I peed so much this week. Are you kidding? I peed 2 or 3 times every time we went to the beach.
Is that why you go in the water?
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it today?
I'm like, it's so good. It's the only reason I'm in the water.
I swam over close to him and I was, oh my god, it's so warm.
No, that wasn't pee, but I had probably peed like 15 minutes before. I mean,
that's disgusting.
Are you kidding? It's the world's biggest toilet.
What does Moana says? People pee in you.
That's true.
When she yells at the ocean.
People do pee in there.
But remember, for the longest time, I couldn't pee in the ocean.
Yeah, you're weird. I was letting them.
So yesterday,
I drank 3 beers on the beach, and I'm like, well, I gotta walk back to the house or 6 feet to the water. Guess we're peeing in the ocean. You know.
You want to talk about how your son had to cover you last night to go pee?
We can. I actually was holding Bodie today and peed in the ocean. I was like, he's not gonna know. I had him like on my hip. And I was like, he was kind of like out of the water. I'm like,
you peed on your son?
I didn't pee on. He was out of the water, and I was like,
the jellyfish. Do you guys remember us talking about them being stung by the same jellyfish on the last day we were here last time? We have scooped up 4 jellyfish.
I launched several of them.
You suck at launching them because, like, that one, I think you launched it like 5 times.
He just went up.
That thing is definitely dead.
But I used like the little, the youngest has got like a little boogie board thing. So I was like scooping them up, flicking them into the air. Well, the first couple just went like 15 feet in the air and then came down behind me. And I'm like, oh, that's not working. So then I finally figured it out and you flick them out into the ocean. But
we're gonna be.
I flicked one about 6 times.
Us.
I don't know if he made it. Like
don't report us. We're very kind to animals.
I was trying to just flick him out like 15 feet further.
Yesterday, they're no joke. Right there by us, there was like 20 kids, and I didn't want anybody to get stung because a lot of them don't look like they're from Florida and probably wouldn't know what to do if their kids got stung. So we were on. I didn't want
to pee on anybody at the beach.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely frowned upon to pee on anyone, let alone children at the beach. But if any of these, like, you know,
you already peed in the water, so technically you've peed on everybody.
Well, it's not the same.
Ooh, that water was in my mouth today.
Oh,
Actually, yesterday. I didn't get my head wet today.
Scuba Steve, you gotta.
Is that why Jackson's hair is so blonde? It's the pee.
I don't. The
The ammonia from the pee.
I don't think that does that. But same. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot
you
of.
like my little.
Most of the ocean is urine. That's a known fact. Everyone knows that. It's dinosaur pee.
Dinosaur pee. I didn't know dinosaurs peed.
They say that if you drink any water on the planet, was at one point dinosaur urine. All the water on the planet. I heard that somewhere.
I'm calling bullshit.
Well, dinosaurs are here for 100.
But why is it their pee? I mean, there's natural water.
Think about this. So they drink water, and then they pee.
That doesn't mean that they peed in the ocean. It doesn't mean they peed in the spring. It doesn't mean that they peed in the lake.
Well, after, say, they were here for, 600 million years or more.
How long were dinosaurs on the planet?
I can Google it. But
Come on, Mr. Dinosaur Scientist.
Let me Google it. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Jamie, pull it up.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, pull that up for me. You're not Jamie.
Just so we're clear, this house is really small, so our oldest had nowhere to escape while we did the podcast.
He had to either go to bed or listen to our stupid podcast.
So he's listening to our stupid podcast.
They were...
Not how long ago, but how long were they?
It says 165 million years.
They were on planet for 165
million years. This says more than 180 million years. All right, so 180 million years. That's a pretty long time.
Earth is that old?
He got 225. Earth's 3 billion years old. Yeah, Earth is unless you believe in the super religious people that think Earth is 6,000 years old.
6,000 years old?
Which is absolutely ridiculous because the pyramids are 20 or 30,000.
How many years have we been independent? 247? Is that what I told you yesterday?
246.
246?
America.
1776?
Yeah.
Do the math.
What is it? It doesn't matter. But either way, the dinosaurs have been peeing a lot. That's the whole thing we talked about with the whole fossil thing, where people are like, well, if dinosaurs were real, we'd have more of them. If humans were wiped out today, right now, if there was a nuclear bomb or asteroid hit us, whatever, if humans were wiped off the planet right now, and then we fast forwarded 100 million years, there would be no remnants of human beings, let alone, there would be no remnants of human, a skeleton, but there would be no buildings, anything in 100 million years. Nothing. So the fact that we have, people are like, oh, there's only 500 dinosaurs. That's an absolute miracle that we even have anything from dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. Because they had to have died in the perfect conditions where they died quickly, they were quickly covered up, they weren't carried off by other animals. It was a perfect mixture of the soil and all this stuff to solidify it and make it a fossil. It's an absolute miracle. We even have fossils at all. People are like, well, there should be dinosaurs everywhere. From 160 million years ago? No, there shouldn't. That seems very unlikely that there would be any dinosaurs. So,
the dinosaur probably died under this house.
Maybe. But, it's very unlikely that, like I said, if humans passed, were wiped out immediately, all the buildings and stuff wouldn't even be here in 100 million years. Your wood roof, your asphalt, all that. If there was a massive flood or anything like that, all that stuff would be gone. What are you doing? What's this?
I got you a beer. You're welcome.
What is this?
Crybabies.
I had one of these earlier.
No, you didn't.
I did. I ate one.
They weren't sour.
They're not sour?
Here, put it in this. Put one in there. Oh. Oh, yeah. The
So
Four Loko.
we went to a candy store and they had a bunch of old school candy, and this is Crybaby Tears extra sour.
You want to try this?
Yeah.
Ride this lightly?
They're not sour at all. There's a point.
Stinks.
Stings the nostrils.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know how Four Locos in business. I mean, they're not bad, but I don't know how it's able to sustain a business model where they're able to sell enough to be profitable. But, to each their own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Forgotten Coast Brewing Company. This is a small plug, but they're in Mexico Beach, Florida. They did have some good beers because they brew
They
their
did.
own stuff. They have their own tanks and stuff. We were going to do a podcast over there when we were here last time.
but we ended up leaving the next day.
Yeah, it was
We
just
didn't go.
time wise. We asked
I'd
them
gone
if
and
we could
talked
do
to
one.
them, and then we ended up leaving. And
Yeah, we just were like,
I need to go apologize.
we were gonna have to rush it and kind of, but they were gonna give us a tour and stuff. But the Veterans United, I want to talk to. There's a place in Jacksonville that it's a brewery. It's called Veterans United. They do tours and stuff, and we want to see if they'll let us do a podcast from there.
Because they have a bar.
Kind of go on the tour, edit out some of it, but like show the tanks and some of that stuff, and then we'll do like a beer sampling or something. So that might be coming up soon. We just got to go talk to them and see.
In the meantime, if you want to taste it or try and get your hands on it, I know it's only here locally in Florida because it's in the local parts. Like when you go look up beers, it's in like the local, but Buzzing Bee, in Raging Blonde, and Scout. I think it's Scout. It has a black German Shepherd on it.
They might have some more now.
They do have a couple others, but that's usually what I see the most of in Publix or Winn-Dixie back home. There's another one I really like, but I don't know who makes it, but it's
That's terrible.
the Orange Blossom or Honey Blossom or whatever it is.
I can't remember. Yeah.
You buy it for me every once in a while. That one's good.
But if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, or like we kind of mentioned before, like ghost stories, stuff like that, let us know. Get in contact with us because we can either have a call line thing where we'll FaceTime you on the podcast and do it, or we'll figure out a way to set it up. Or if you just got a topic you want us to discuss, you got a funny clip you want us to watch and talk about, send it to us, because eventually we're going to run out of ideas. So there's plenty of stuff we can talk about.
There's no way to run out of ideas with numbnuts over there.
Numbnuts.
Shush.
What'd you do tonight for dinner?
Shush.
What happened?
Shush.
A bag of rice?
No.
Got the better of you?
No.
So our 12-year-old
I
eats.
still ate it.
All right.
Our 12-year-old eats plain rice, and then he puts soy sauce on it.
Fried rice.
Fried rice. So over here, there's still not a whole lot because my father-in-law, his dad, we're still preparing and rebuilding and everything from the hurricanes. Look it up, Mexico Beach, 2018, October 2018, biggest hurricane.
Oh, let me
Anyways.
let me say this. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it, and I'll put it in where our unit is. The hurricane is Hurricane Michael. It literally stopped. Like, this is a triplex where there's 3 units. It literally
Took out
it blew out
furthest one?
the whole
Side.
first 5 houses from the beach. It collapsed the end unit, and then the middle unit and his somehow
This was
made it.
all of his
It
walls
is
were
absolutely
standing.
wild. Everything else is demolished, and this house somehow made
And there was roughly 7 to 8 feet of water in this unit.
and it somehow survived. But I'll have to see if I can find some pictures. I'll insert them in this section. But it's so funny that
It's
everything,
not funny, but
everything around it was just demolished, and it was like it stopped right here.
And then all the townhouses next door.
Well,
which
they
was
were
even
fine. Everything
creepier.
past us was fine.
Which was even creepier because when we came over to do the hurricane clean out, we came one day after the hurricane,
Yeah.
and we walked around in between cleaning out his family's unit. The townhouses next door, of course, 2 stories. The bottom floors looked like hell. I mean, it was just as nasty as our unit. You walked up the stairs, pristine.
Well, I'll do
The
this.
beds were still made. The carpets were still clean.
Yeah.
You remember? It was
Everything,
so
once you got up
creepy.
above,
The water level.
it's like Walking Dead,
Yeah.
where you would find a house. But I'll do this. We've got a bunch of pictures.
Bunch of them.
I'll insert them in this whole section, just kind of at the bottom while we're talking, so everyone can see them. But it was wild to see the amount of devastation. I mean, it ripped everything
Their toilets
Oh,
gone.
Everything like, and there's still slabs.
We'll take some pictures
couple
of what
down
it looks
the
like
street
now.
where it wiped it up. Like the houses were just gone. It's just a
Everything's
concrete
gone.
slab,
We
and
never
all
found.
the debris just brushed up down the street.
There was the top of a 2-story house in our backyard. We never found the front door. Never found the front door.
It was blown in and then
Washed out, I guess. And then we found, so my mother-in-law sews a lot, and she made a lot of the couch cushion, like repurposed them and had pillows. We found a pillow, one of our pillows, sunken in the beach while we were here. We went down and we found it. There were TVs floating in the ocean. Jackson, our oldest, he was about to dive into the water. We were taking a break to cool off because it was so hot. He was about to dive into the waves, and there was a mirror that was broken, and it was perfectly pointed, like it was broken just perfect, and we stopped him. We found an entire bed frame in the ocean. Like, it was nuts. When we got here, it looked like a bomb had gone off.
Well, we'll post a bunch of pictures because a lot of people had seen that. Like Hurricane Michael was
2019,
I got the hiccups
2018.
now, but it was crazy, the devastation that it just wiped out over here. Now everything's nice
Built
and
back
new,
up,
but
yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
But anyways, back to Numbnuts and his rice experience. So there's no scissors over here, so there's not a lot of supplies. We just bring every time we come over. He was in there trying to open a bag of rice while it was still in the pot of water. He didn't even drain the water, by the way. And I'm sitting on this couch, and he goes, "Oh no!" And I said, "What? What happened?" He goes, "I spilled the rice." Here I'm thinking he just spilled like a little bit on the floor. I go in there. You're gonna insert this picture. Literally, he tried to make a hibachi on the stovetop. Like, it's everywhere. It was like in the microwave. It was just.
You didn't take it out of the water?
No.
Take it out of the water.
You were trying. He literally picked it up out of the water. He didn't strain the water before trying to open it in like the pot.
Yeah.
And then
Well, let's wrap this up. Vacation podcast. But
oh, that was bubbly.
great.
My nose.
Thanks for sharing. What are you doing over there?
I'm not doing anything when you do.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to email us. Again, go to YouTube and subscribe because Sam's going to eat one of those hot chips and die if you guys get us to 500. That's the only way we're doing it. She's not going to eat it at $4.89 or $4.99. 500 subscribers on YouTube.
I mean, to
She's gonna eat
make to be on the safe side, like 502, 505.
500, she's going to eat it. But we're not going to be there at 300. That's not going to work.
When are you gonna eat it?
I said 1,000.
1,000.
That's like 6 years from now. We're not very popular. People don't like us, so
If y'all don't blow up, it will never happen.
yeah. So we'll be good. Maybe we'll go viral with you puking your guts up. We'll see. I got the hiccups so bad. We gotta
right.
wrap this
Y'all
up.
just
Bye.
subscribe, get into 1,000 so that he does eat the hot shit.
We'll see. All right. See you guys next week. Episode 10. Email us if you got some crazy ghost stories or weird stuff. Later.